One of the most important things to Shoppa's is the safety and security of our fellow associates, families, and customers. Our founder, Jimmy Shoppa, sits down with Chief Medical Director, Dr. Scott Connard, to help us better navigate the complexities of dealing with COVID-19.
Well, thank goodness we're going to have you to be walking alongside our company to help with this. But I think you said something I just want to close with that little segment. And you said those 3 L's. Look, listen, and learn. And that's really 3 little powerful words in those statements, and I think we can really take heart to that message. I hear people talk about the 3 W's and how important that is. Is that the most important? And also, just tell us what that is. Inform me about that.
So there are thousands of things that back in March we were trying to figure out, right? And now we've been able to focus it down. If you just do these 3 things, you're really reducing your risk as much as you can without completely destroying your life, right? Number 1, wear a mask. Number 2 is you want to wash your hands. And you have to do it for 20 seconds to really get the virus off your hand. You can also use alcohol, to the degree that you don't have access to that. And number 3 is watch your distance. Stay 6 feet away from other people. And the thing is that as you speak, the droplets float out of your mouth and then they start to go to the floor. And they tend to be less than head level and be down lower at 3 to 6 feet. So now, if you have a wind behind you, all those things, you have to be a little more thoughtful. But that's the general rule. And if you do those 3 things, when you remember, Jimmy, back in March, it was like, don't touch door handles, don't wipe your eyes, don't touch, when you go in and out of a room, you can't touch the table. We've gone through all those things and realized those aren't the important ones. Wear a mask, wash your hands, watch your distance.
When someone in my family gets sick, am I automatically assuming I'm going to get sick? And if I don't get symptoms, do you think I got sick? Explain that to me.
So
that's confusing to me.
It's very confusing. So let's walk through COVID. You get sick. For the first 2 days, it's growing in your body, but you feel fine. You don't know you have it, and you're not infecting people. Then it gets to a point where every time you breathe, you're spewing COVID into the environment, and anybody around you is going to get sick, but you feel fine. Day 5 is when most people start to get the postnasal drip, a little sore throat. It may not be bad enough they even know they're sick, or really pay attention to it because it's allergies, it's winter, whatever. Then over the next, from day 5 to day 8, is when, if you're going to get symptoms, you get symptoms, but they're usually not so bad. On day 8, if you're going to go off the cliff with this cytokine storm, day 8 and 9 is when you tend to really get sick. And then you either go south and you're one of the 14% that may have to go to the hospital and one of the 1.5% that may die, or you're one of the 86% that you're like, why were people concerned about this, right? Well, what's the big deal? I feel great. And then you're kind of lucky.
I didn't even know I had it.
Right. And you talked a minute ago about people who are afraid and they're not doing anything, and people who aren't afraid at all. But now you've got this other group we've had COVID and we're protected. We have the antibodies, and so we don't have to be afraid. We can actually go spend money and support the U.S. economy. And more people are on the post-infection side. And we should come back and talk about how long they stay safe. But the point here, Jimmy, is that as you go through the process of getting COVID, we know that at about 50%, about half the cases of spread, the person who gets COVID got it from somebody who didn't even know they had it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you almost have to walk around, if you haven't had COVID, always acting like maybe I could have it now, even if you don't know that you were around somebody with COVID.